Let's dive into the story of an ancient discovery that baffled everybody. There are no words to explain what an amazing discovery this was. When we first read about it, this was literally the best thing we'd read in a long time. The amazing discovery was made in a 600,000-year-old lake. You can imagine how epic this discovery would have been, because if you look at the age of the lake, which is just amazing, but not more than this find. Let's see what was found that made this story viral. Beautiful lake. For decades, this place has been surrounded by the beautiful turquoise lake that's confined within huge mountain terrain. The landscape around here is something always looks forward to seeing one day, leaving behind their hectic schedule. On the edge of the cliff, you can spot an ancient church, standing tall, guarding the lake. But the most fascinating thing about this place was hidden inside the lake van. What was it? You'll find out soon. Hidden history. Not exactly looking back, but thinking about the past, a disastrous volcano eruption took place, which blocked the lake's outlet. Surprisingly, despite its altitude, which is 5,380 feet, the high salinity level of the lake stops it from freezing. Addition to beautiful mountains, this lake is just cherry on top for this place. But was this volcano eruption the reason behind this thing getting lost in time? So long ago. Notably, the lake was formed more than 600,000 years ago, and by now the water levels have seen some significant rise. As the water levels rose, the lake swallowed that one precious thing which was found after so many years. When it came out in the open, there was nothing else people talked about except this amazing discovery. Something to discover. It wasn't the first time that this place has been explored. The scientists have always been attracted to this place because of this lake and its fascinating age. For many years, scientists have been looking for that one clue that could prove the myth that revolved around it. Looking at the structure of this place, the researchers were sure that one day they'd find it. And then it was there, lurking on the bed of the lake, surrounded by the darkness. Living legend. During the 9th century, the city of Tushba, which was the capital of Urartu, was located near this same lake. Not many of us have heard about this lost kingdom from the Iron Age, but the Urartu kingdom ruled the whole area of Lake Van back in 860 to 560 BC. There have been so many unusual myths revolving around the lake that's always fascinated the scholars to see if it was even true. The tales of the lake. In the year 2017, a group of archaeologists and historical photographers set off on an amazing mission to find out the truth about Lake Van. They heard some great stories from the past, but to see if they were even true, they need to dive inside this mystical lake before they could say anything for sure. The monster myth. The monster of Lake Van hit the national news in 1993, and the news continued till 1995. And there's a time when people still talk about it the way we're doing it today. Though there have been few sightings of this so-called monster swimming in the lake, nothing can be said for sure. But 1997, Unal Kozal, a teacher at Van University, claimed that he took a shot of this mysterious creature swimming inside the lake. But did you know that this monster wasn't first sighted in 1993? The lost fact. The Sadat newspaper, which was active in 1889, reported an event about a big monster who dragged a man into the lake while he was doing wudu, cleaning oneself before praying in Islam. But the main question is, where's this monster right now? What happened to this monster? Though the legend about the monster of the Lake Van was really famous, the team of archaeologists was behind something else. They knew about the lake monster, but it was something else they wanted to find. Just imagine the excitement. One lake and two mysteries. What happened to the monster? As we've already told you, the outlet of the lake has been blocked due to ancient volcano eruption that took place some 2 million years ago. The idea of some mysterious, huge creature entering the area was very thin. Maybe that creature was already there, and due to the blockage, it couldn't move out. Even today, there are some who believe that the monster still lives deep inside the waters. But is that even possible? Unliving feature of the lake. The waters of Lake Van is very saline, due to which no aquatic animal is able to survive inside the waters. Also, Lake Van is larger than Loch Ness, which has a capacity to host plesiosaur. And thinking about a monster inside the lake seems right at some point. But the main problem is, the Lake Van has a very little aquatic life due to the level of salinity. But you can't just ignore the fact that there could be a monster, who would have learned to survive in an environment as the lake van has. But who could have thought that the team would find something else more interesting than this monster? 600,000 years old. Why do the scientists believe that there must have been something lurking in the depths of the lake? It was all because of one reason, which was the age of the lake. As we told you earlier, the lake were really thin. But then this team was destined to find it, and they did. They found the most amazing thing of this century. University Project. The team consists of the best researchers, historians, and divers. Together they set off to make history. The mission was guided by Yen Yuzungu Yil University, where this team was researching about underwater excavations. Little did they know that soon the team would be the one to make history. Let's dive into it. The team was ready to make history. They made sure that they had every technology so that they don't face any obstructions in their mission. Finally, the team was ready to put all their research in one place and actually find out what this place was hiding. This place is filled with so many legends that make every researcher fascinated by it. Reaching the place. The team finally reached the place and was ready to explore the lake. Before that, they had to be sure what all places were marked by the other researchers and what all places had been left by these previous scientists. As we've already told you that this lake is really huge, and there were numerous spots that were still left unmarked, and this team knew that they had to check them all one by one. And then they found it. Marking the locations. Each diver was given different spots to explore, so that unless he went back to the team and told him about his discovery. The team were both excited and afraid, but they had to see what it was, and then the team went deep inside again to find out the truth. Complete shock. The divers went again to the same spot where they spotted something, and when they reached closer to it, they discovered a lost kingdom beneath the surface of the earth. The team couldn't control their excitement because they knew what they'd discovered. It was the first time that this lost kingdom was found. They had something else in their mind. Instead, they found a 3,000-year-old building. But the golden prize was just around the corner. Deep in the water. Lying on the lake bed, a vast castle was discovered. Surprisingly, the castle was in very good condition even after so many years. But there was something else more interesting than this castle, which they found out after thorough research of the castle. However, Tashin Salin, who was in charge of the expedition, set off for something else instead. He was baffled by the discovery that changed everybody's life forever. Not what he thought. There was a rumor that there might be something under the water, but most archaeologists and museum officials told us we won't find anything, said Tashin Salin. He was out there in the lake to discover the mystical monster, which has been sailing around the lake for centuries. Mysterious Castle. The castle stood tall and was in very good condition. But the question was, how did this castle end up here in the first place? The castle was big, and its walls stood up high, around 4 meters, and the castle covered around a kilometer. What else did they find? Lost City. The researchers found out that this castle belonged to Urartu civilization of the Iron Age. This discovered castle was from the kingdom which goes by the name the Kingdom of Van. This survived from the 9th to the 6th centuries BCE. Due to the water level, which grew all these years significantly, the castle was drowned, never to be found again. Finding the truth. According to the historians, back in the past, when Urartu civilization survived, the water levels were extremely lower and rose with time, which led to the city drowning and ending up on the lake bed. The find gave the archaeologists new energy, and now they think there are so many mysterious things that are still waiting to get unearthed. Buried deep into the floor. Some of the sections of the castle stood strong with smooth walls, and some which have gone through a lot of the reactions inside the waters over these years. Other parts of the castle were later found on the surface of the earth. The divers were only able to length the walls of the castle bed to upwards, but how deep these walls are buried into the floor was still a mystery to them. This discovery has given the researchers so many questions to get solved, like who built this castle and who lived in this castle before it drowned. Salin's team were excited even when they didn't have any answers to these questions. For them, it was a life-changing discovery. But then in one of the walls, they found a lion carving. What could it mean? The time period. In the Urartian era, people used a lion motif to represent their kingdom. It was Geoffrey Summers who came forward and explained the drawing and said, "It looks more medieval than something from the Urartian kingdom." There were so many theories that revolved around this discovery, but no theory could claim that their theory was right. Conflicting theories. According to an archaeology professor from Marmara University, the walls seem medieval or late antique period rather than Urartu. Urartian never used any material between ashlar wall stones to connect each other. But there was another expert who had a very different theory about it. Let's see what his opinion was about the discovery. More opinions. P. Hulin published a report about this ancient mystery that was discovered in the Lake Van, where he wrote, "A lofty wall of later than Urartian times runs under the lake." In his research, Hulin discovered some inscriptions that told the story of the Urartian king, Rusa. But as time passed, the writings faded away, and now only a few are readable. King Sarduri. King Rusa became the king of Urartu after his father, King Sarduri II. Along with his father as his king, he expanded the kingdom of Urartu southeast and conquering several Anatolian territories too. But little did King Sarduri know that his son would soon cause the kingdom a grave danger. Lost everything. King Rusa wanted to increase the kingdom's strength at any cost. With power in his hand, he tried his best to expand the kingdom, but then he didn't realize that war never brings peace. The battle was fought, and both people and the kingdom suffered from it. King Rusa knew that in no time all his resources would get finished, and on the other side, King Tiglath-Pileser III knew that he had won. Indeed, he won. The discovery has given a new hope about Lake Van, and we hope that they find more amazing discoveries like this in the future.